So interesting. We wanted to pick our team of the season so far. And who do you have in goal?
Christoph, I think we have the same player in goal because he is head and shoulders above everybody else. And his name
Okay.
is Gregor Kobel.
Okay. I looked at the numbers and then
On Understat.
no, on the FB ref. And Marvin Schwebe would be the guy.
Yeah, such a hipster choice.
Um, but I picked Alexander Nübel actually
Oh,
because I think he is also instrumental in this change at Stuttgart. Not only because he was such winning them points with a lot of fantastic goalkeeping extravaganza, but he was. He was a kind of backbone in goal that Stuttgart was lacking in the years before that, and he has charisma, and I think yeah, hey, he could be a good goalkeeper for Bayern. That's my guess, but but anyhow. Who do you have in defense? I guess not too many Bayern players.
no Bayern player. One former Bayern player has made it.
Okay.
Mats Hummels is in there
Okay.
next to Jonathan Tah.
Mm-hmm.
And the dynamic wingback duo, who in my system will have to play fullbacks, Frimpong and Grimaldo.
Okay. I also have Frimpong and Grimaldo because I think it's pretty obvious that they were both fantastic. Although I'm a bit more fascinated by Grimaldo, probably because he's also a fantastic taker of free kicks and set pieces and so on. But my two central defenders are Odilon Kossounou and Waldemar Anton at
Yeah, I thought about
Stuttgart.
Anton. Yeah.
I he's also I mean there are some players that have a great season at Stuttgart right now. I mean Chris Führig is another example, but I always liked Anton even in the dark days of last season. I think he was one of the most reliable players Stuttgart had, and I think he is excellent, and the same is true for Kossounou. And yes, I was also thinking about Mats Hummels, and because he is a best Mats Hummels in recent years. I think he is very driven by the opportunity to play a big tournament in his home country again, and so yeah, he could also be in the team. Who is your number six, or your two number sixes, or don't you have a number six? Who is showing up in midfield?
I have one number 6. It's a slightly wonky system,
Mm-hmm.
4-1-4-1. Sorry, it's a 4-1-3-1-1.
Okay.
And that is Granit Xhaka. Not because I interviewed him the other day, but because he has been absolutely outstanding in
Yeah.
this position, in the best team in the league. So who else but Granit?
I have him. I have him also, and I think he is also the best version of himself right now. So he is not. I think he is better as his time in Arsenal. I read the conversation you had with him, and I think my impression is he would agree in a way. and having matured, maybe being out of the spotlight. I mean, yes, there is a huge interest in Bayer Leverkusen, but if you compare it to what's going on a club like Arsenal, I think it must feel for him like being going a step back in concerning media attention and general attention and so on. And I think it was very helpful of him. He looks very calm, cool, not as hot-headed as we knew him from the past. So yeah, a fantastic player. Okay. Who else is in your midfield?
My 3 attacking midfielders are Xavi Simons, Florian Wirtz, and Leroy Sané.
Same as me.
You're an expert, Christoph. What can I say?
Florian Wirtz, probably the best player in the Bundesliga right now. Or no, best player is always, but I would say most enjoyable player in the Bundesliga right now, because I think it's a dream to see him play, and it's also great that I mean, it took some time after he had his big injuries with the cruciate ligament, and now he is where we can expect him to be, and I think in the system of Xabi Alonso, it's perfect for him. Yeah, Florian Wirtz right now is the most enjoyable player to watch in the Bundesliga, and we can be very happy that he now seems to have completely recovered from his heavy injury. He had a cruciate ligament, and now this is all history and forgotten, and we can see him the best Florian Wirtz we can see. And we also, I think, see the best Leroy Sané we could see. He's the best version of himself. And also what I like about him this season, and I think already towards the end of last season, he doesn't stop. So it's not this up and down, sometimes great, sometimes fantastic, sometimes to be forgotten. And so there is a steadiness in his performance that is also very, very impressive. And yeah, and Xavi Simons, the little diminutive midfielder on loan from PSG, and
what a player!
What a player, yeah, and
amazing player. I'm just so sad that he's going to go back to PSG, because I'd love to see him more in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, maybe
so enjoyable.
And but I think it's there is no argument why he should stay in the Bundesliga. I think PSG will be happy to get him back. Yeah, so there are two more places up front, and I would think we again agree. But let's see. Who do you have?
I have 2 strikers who have lit up the league. Christoph, and I don't think their names will come as a huge surprise. A certain Harry Kane in the 9.5 role, just behind goal sensation Serhou Guirassy.
Yep, totally agree. Obviously, I mean, I would say it's a no-brainer. 2 fantastic stories of the season so far. Guirassy, amazing, but Harry Kane, I mean, this guy is fantastic, and I think he is already also very popular over here in Germany, because he seems to be a very nice and humble and a guy, very ordinary, and so on. I don't know if you read the interview A strange interview on the sports pages of Süddeutsche Zeitung. They interviewed the boss of the hotel where Harry Kane stayed in Munich. It's the Mandarin Oriental. So one of these top, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 stars hotels where also Michelle Obama and the Queen have spent nights. And there, Harry Kane, until recently, now I think he found a house where he can live, had an apartment or wie heißt das nochmal? Wie sagt man nochmal?
Suite?
Yeah, he had a 120 square meter square meter suite where he stayed and where his wife and kids sometimes or often came to visit, and his family and so on. And in a very tabloid way, Süddeutsche interviewed this hotel manager about him, and he was raving about how humble and nice Harry Kane was, never asking for special extra, always eating sushi and sashimi in the evening, and not eating any. So they built him an Allianz Arena in chocolate, but he gave it back, so he didn't eat it, and he knew the people who were working in the hotel by their name, and said goodbye, and so. What I wanted to say, there is a story evolving that Harry Kane is not only a fantastic football player, a goal machine, but also a very likable person. And yes, and I think he has won over the hearts of many football fans in Germany with his quality. And I mean, players at Bayern Munich not necessarily tend to be humble and nice and so on. So or that it comes to mind first when you talk about them. So yeah, a great story about Harry Kane.
Yeah, and on and off the pitch, a real role model.
Yeah,
for this Bayern team. Serhou Guirassy.
Serhou Guirassy. What I like about this story, so we have a guy here who has spent his days also, I wouldn't say in the wilderness of football, but he has played some second division football here and there and try to make it to the top level and so on. And all of a sudden, the famous knot is bursting, and out comes goals, and you wonder, why didn't he score them before? Does he know? Was he treated badly, wrong? I don't know. I mean, very often people saw something in him and signed him, but it didn't work out as well, not nearly as well as it works out now in Stuttgart. So yeah, this is also he is a late bloomer, if you like, and it's not very often that you have this kind of stories, especially not in this spectacular way, with him scoring goals like non-stop. So yeah, that's also a heartwarming story, and it says that yeah, you can increase your performance even if you're getting older on the football pitch.
And off it, Christoph.
And off it.
Like
Yeah.
you and me.